Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen is looking more and more like the expansion many of us were hoping for. We've just had another showcase, and while we were absolutely fuming that we didn't get to see more new things or proper gameplay, we did get some answers to some of the bigger questions surrounding the DLC, as well as a glimpse at some new footage. So today let's break down everything we've learned from the latest Capcom showcase for Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, perhaps one of the coolest things is that the showcase gave us a glimpse at some new footage and a first look at one of the new Endgame challenges called Lost Rites, which will be one of the new Endgame activities. In the clips, we saw various Arisen heading into and taking part in the Lost Rites, where they face off against juiced up versions of the base game monsters, and you can see that they have this glowing red around their head. From the look of it, it's an enclosed dungeon or raid style challenge. There's going to be a variety of monsters, and this was definitely one of the things that the game needed, as the base game itself was really lacking that challenge, especially as you got really strong. But I do hope that those massive glowing chests will give us some goodies that will make it all worth it. We know there will be 12 Lost Rite dungeon challenges in total across the base game world map, with rewards inside. But with the Dragon's Dogma community being one of the most awesome game communities, we can see that Educational Pie 9139 on Reddit had already discovered all 12 Godsbane doors across the map 4 months ago. These are completely inaccessible and don't do anything in the game currently until the expansion comes out, and it did drive the community crazy for a while, as lots of members online were trying to figure out what these doors meant and how to get inside of them. And now, because we know that there's 12 Lost Rite dungeons in the base game, and you can see here that the door looks very similar, Casadis on Reddit pointed out that these are likely them, and they've already been found. So we just need to wait for the expansion to come out so we can go inside. Next though, we got a look at some of the new character customization options that Dark Arisen is adding in, mainly with it being hair and tattoo options. And it seems like with us going to Norgan and it being more of a frozen tundra kind of area and vibe, that some of these options will give us a more sort of Viking-like or hardy look, which to be honest is pretty cool, so we're happy with that. Within the showcase itself, we also got a good explanation and recap of the details already revealed for the expansion from the man himself, Kento Kinoshita. The awesome thing is, this guy has Dragon's Dogma running through his veins. He was the gameplay lead in the original Dragon's Dogma 1, and he was the director of the Dark Arisen expansion for the first Dragon's Dogma back in 2013. Now, we all know that was an incredible expansion, but he was also the director of Dragon's Dogma Online, which I never got to play, but from the people I do know that played it, really loved it. So it is quite exciting that he is back for Dark Arisen on Dragon's Dogma 2. One of the big things that Kento Kinoshita spoke about is the reason that they're creating the DLC. The first is that they have 3 pillars: enhanced gameplay, expanded adventures, and enticing value. These will be the core of this expansion, and as we know, the base game was really fun to play, but it just didn't feel deep enough. A lot of the core complaints were due to the lack of challenge, a lack of enemy variety, and not so many endgame activities. This leads on to the second thing though, the fact that they're taking feedback very seriously. For the base game, they have reviewed all of the concerns and notable community gripes. Then with this feedback, they're looking to implement big changes and new content for us, which is why we're getting this DLC now, as well as new things like the Lost Rites dungeon challenges, which is a direct response to feedback, with them adding in more challenge and engaging activities into the game. Overall, the expansion is aimed at both returning seasoned players and new players. They're aiming to ensure that if it's your first time picking up the game, the experience will be even smoother and more enjoyable, especially with the addition of the base game updates. While for returning players, there'll be lots of new challenges and new content to explore in Norgan. A key part of the DLC though will be the new Relic system, which is one of the ways we'll be gaining a lot more power to our base equipment to face off against those more powerful enemies. And while it was small, we did get a few new clips that showcased this system in action. First, we get to see the Arisen take out a fairly basic looking enemy, which drops them a Spoils level 2 Plastron. The player then takes this to an NPC where you can see them appraise their spoils in this menu, and you can see there's a variety of different items in what looks like a pool of gear to possibly roll from that when you appraise it. At least that's what it looks like. But not only that, we can see that there are different levels of spoils from 1 to 3. But we're guessing they can go much higher, and this probably depends on the type and difficulty of the enemies you defeat, and hopefully it goes all the way up to something like 99. From the look of it, the relics will have stronger base stats, as they will also come with powerful skills, special effects, and unique skills on them that should completely mix up how we build our character and which skills we choose to bring with us. Hopefully there's some really good ones to chase. We can actually see an example of a higher rarity gear piece here with a bow for the magic archer called the Singular Sanguine Radiance Bow. It's a bit of a mouthful, but this came from the Bowstaff spoil. Just looking at the stats, you can see it's a massive jump in power over whatever weapon the player currently had, and in the bottom right of the screen, you can see the bow comes with 3 skills. And it seems like upgraded skills are back, which is awesome to see. Basically, it looks like this gear piece can roll upgrades for your vocation skills, which in the original Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, the upgrades were really good. We can see a skill called Sagittate White House, which is likely an upgrade to Sagittate Downpour, which is a skill the Magic Archer already has, so this will improve it. While for Fortifying Arrow, it's likely an upgrade to the Remedy or Recovery Arrow, which again is another skill in the base game. So getting rolls to upgrade the skills that you want to use is definitely going to be something you're going to want on your gear. Also, you can see that some items have a glow around them when they're appraised, which probably means they have better rolls, they're rarer, or more skills on them, or something like that. Then if you're more into the world and lore, you'll be excited to see that we got a better look at the Fallen Dragon. This is basically an undead form of the Dragon, which this time doesn't have its heart, so we can't exactly stab it there like we did in the base game. We also have a name for this mysterious lady from the first trailer, and we found out that she is called Eir. She's probably going to be integral to the story and in finding out how to defeat the Fallen Dragon, as she's been chasing it down for currently unknown reasons. As mentioned before though, the base game is getting massive improvements. The first update's actually already out, but we've also got another bigger and more exciting one coming in August. We know it will bring better frame rate and performance upgrades to all platforms, more save slots up to 3 this time, which we actually got to see a little bit of, and even more exciting than that, it will increase the active skill slots from 4 to 6, which is a massive change in how you actually play the game. There's also improvements coming to the Dragon's Plague. It looks like your pawns will be even stronger when infected, but there's also a new item called the Dragon Bulk Draft to remove the Dragon's Plague more easily. Also, as a reminder, the first playable demo of Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen will be at Gamescom, so if you're looking to take a trip to Germany, you can actually play the game for yourself. If you do end up going, definitely tell us all about it, because we're super jealous of everyone that gets to go to Gamescom and play it. And well, that's pretty much it. I wish there was more new stuff in the showcase, but that's all we have for now. Make sure you are subscribed though, because we will be back as soon as more Dragon's Dogma details come out. As you know, we love the game and we're here to cover it for you. But we'll also be back with more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon. Here at Arix Gaming, we're 2 friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.